Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this Dungeons, a solo adventure game. I am presenting this in another one of my, hey, you don't need to have pencil and paper to do all this. Although I am going to be using my dice and a dice tower. I'm not showing that on screen, there's not really any room, but here's my handful of dice. Here's the dice as they fall through the tower, and I will say the numbers when they land so that you know what it is. I'm not going to cheat and just give any number, because why else would I go through the trouble of running the dice through the dice tower? So no problems there. But as you can see, I have a character there, and when we come around here, it says you can choose a character, and I have done so. We have combat dice, how many dice you roll in a fight. Armor, that's the number that the monster has to roll to attack you. Wounds is number of damage you can take. Magic dice, if you know magic, that's how many dice you roll. Speed for combat. Well, very, very slow. As you can see, there's the barbarian who's got 3 dice for combat. Hi, I'm a dwarf with 2 dice for combat. Elf who has magic, and a mage who of course has magic. Now, actually playing the game, this one is very abstract. You have a quest and you have a dungeon to go through, but as it says, you go through a series of areas. And you have to explore by rolling to find out what's there, resolve it, and then move on to the next area. So there's nothing to map, and you just move onward, marking how many areas you've been through. You have to go through at least 12, and then some of them have a final area, some of them that they don't. But we are going to choose our quest right now. What exactly we have to do. So I'm rolling my d6, and it has come up with a 2, the Dark Stone Idol. Let us take a look at the Dark Stone Idol quest. A dying adventurer has told you the tale of his last mission. He was in the Bloodskull Forest battling goblins in their lairs when he came across an idol to the goblin deity. It was made from dark stone, an evil mineral that exudes chaotic magic and corrupts anyone who spends prolonged time in his presence. You do not need the adventurer to tell you what this means. If the goblins can move the idol into a populated area, the people in that place would be twisted to the cause of evil. This cannot be allowed to happen, so you vow to the dying adventurer you will destroy the idol before the goblins can use it. No special rules. The final area of this quest involves the Darkstone Idol. You must destroy it in order to complete the quest. To destroy it, you attack it in order to break it. Oh my gosh. Armor of 5+ for wounds. Every attack you make reduces your wounds by 1. Oh, hokey smokes. You need to roll a 6 to destroy it. In each time you fail. Oh boy, oh boy. And there's the quest monster is a goblin. I'm not quite sure what they mean by quest monster though. Let's go back up here for a moment. Quest monster? Maybe it's handled on the encounter table. Still, this is what we have. So we have 12 areas to go through, and the 13th area is where the Darkstone Idol is. And the special, the quest monster, again, not quite sure what they're trying to say, but we come down here to areas with your quest determined. Once you've explored 12 areas, you can move on to the final area or keep exploring. So we roll a d6 to find out exactly what we find. Let us learn by doing. We enter area 1. So, let us roll to see what is in area 1. And of course I have my hand weapon and heavy armor. I rolled a 4. A 4 is an event. So let us go to the events page. There we are, events. When you roll on the events table, first roll 1 die. On a roll of 1 to 3, roll 1 die again and consult the list. On a roll of 4 to 6, roll 1 die again and add 6, then consult. That's kind of confusing, but still, it'll be easier when we practice it. Roll 1 die. It is a 6. So on a roll of 4 to 6, roll 1 die and add 6 to it, okay? I rolled a 3, so that is a 9. Let us take a look. A small fountain rests in the middle of a small chamber. The chamber is the size of a small, large boulder. The water is sparkling clean. You can drink from it if you want. If you do, roll 1 die. Water is poisonous. Lose 2 wounds. Refreshing. No other effect. Healing. Restore 2 wounds. I have taken no damage. I am not going to drink out of that fountain. No. So we head back up here to the where is it? The encounter, thank you. The areas table. And we check which, well, we're going into area 2. So now let us roll. Did I go too far with that? No. How about that? Let us roll and see what is going to occur in this area. And with a 4, oh, it's another event. Okay. I don't know how to bookmark pages, so I have to keep scrolling to my pages. My sincere apologies. Okay, let us roll and see what we come up with to see where on the table we are. I rolled a 4, so that's add 6. I am really good at that. I might change my die in just a moment. I'm going to roll a d6 and add 6. It is a 1, so that is a 7. And on a... oh, prisoners. Okay, it's just this small section of page. You stumble upon some men and women being held in a prison cell. You try to free them. Roll 1 die and add your speed or the number of combat dice you have. Well, my speed sucks. My combat dice, not much better. So we're going to roll 1 die, we're going to add 2 to it, and we'll see if we free these prisoners. 4, which is add 2, 5, 6. We force the door and free the prisoners. They are so grateful, they show you the way through the dungeon. You may reduce the number of areas you need to explore by 2 before moving on to the final area. Well, thank you, prisoners. I appreciate that very much. Scratch is -2 areas to complete quest. Well, son of a gun. So now we're going to head on to... there we are, I passed it. You see how easily you can play some of these games? If you had all this on paper and pencil, you could quickly toss this onto a tabletop and play in just minutes. It's very, very cool. The longest and hardest part would be transcribing your character onto a character sheet, or just a scratch piece of paper, of course. We are heading into Area 3. What that was? Well, how am I doing this then? Okay, 3. That's how I'm doing it, no spaces. And in Area 3, we find... with a 2. Uh-oh. It's an encounter. An encounter occurs when you come across an enemy. Always the same series of dice rolls. Okay. What am I combating? Oh, it just says an encounter right now. I don't know what I'm combating yet. Check to see if you have ranged weapons. If you do, you can do that. Otherwise, compare speed. Roll combat dice compared to armor. Each successful roll above does 1 hit, and if you go down to 0, you're dead. And so that's not bad. So let's take a look. Anything more? Well, there's escaping a fight. Well, oh, well, if this was just quest monster, okay, just a regular encounter. And the quest monster is roll on the encounters table. Okay, I guess I'm wrong there. Let's see what we have. Roll 2 dice when an encounter occurs, and then consult the following table to determine what enemy you must fight and kill. Okay, 2d6 it is. I roll my 2d6. It is a 6 and a 1, which is, of course, a 7. Which is Quest Monster. You enter a chamber in the dungeon that contains the enemy listed as the Quest Monster. Okie dokie. So Area 3, the Quest Monster, as we saw from the quest, I guess I should have written that down in my scratch paper here, but Darkstone Idol, it is a goblin. A goblin only has 1 combat die, 3 armor. They have a 3 speed and 3 wounds, all of which kind of sucks right there, but still, that's not bad. With a speed of 3, it attacks first, but it only rolls 1 die, and it has to roll a 5 or greater. So I'm going to roll my 1 die for the goblin and see if it hits me. And with a 1, that is an abject failure. So I attack the goblin, and with an armor of, what was that again, 3+, I have 2 combat dice. I make my roll, swinging my mighty axe, or warhammer as it's sometimes known. And I rolled 2 5s, and since that's a 3+ to hit, I did 2 wounds, but a goblin has 3, so uh-oh. The goblin still has 1 wound, which means, of course, it's going to attack me with its 1 combat die, and it has to roll a 5 or greater. And with a 3, it certainly did not do that. So I'm going to roll my 2 dice, swinging my warhammer at this goblin. And with a 6 and a 3, that was 1 success. It only had 1 hit point. That goblin is a deader. Not bad. So, of course, the thing about that, once you kill something, and you go through the events and all that, whenever you beat a monster in a fight, or whenever an event tells you, you may make a roll on the treasure tables. This determines what type of reward you get for defeating your enemy and searching their remains or lairs. Firstly, roll 2 dice and determine the type of treasure you find. Well, I rolled a 3, which kind of sucks, a 2 and a 1. And that's gold pieces. Gold pieces is the main currency. To find out how many gold pieces you find, roll 1 die. And with a 6, I get 3 gold. You know, there's no section up here for anything else, so I'm going to go 3 GP as part of my gear. So not bad. We found treasure by slaughtering a not very innocent gobbo. So let's come back to the encounters page and let us see what we find in Area 4. In Area 4, I roll my die, and with a 3, it is indeed another encounter. Oh boy. Okay, well, let's go to the encounters. Well, we're not going to worry about that part yet. Okay, roll 2d6. What do we have to fight today? Well, this time 3. Oh! Coming to an underground waterway, you spot a hulking troll by the water's edge. Unfortunately, it also spots you and turns to attack. A troll, 3 combat dice, armor of 3, speed of 1, 5 wounds. Now, because our speed is equal, we're supposed to roll 2 of us, each of us, to see who has the higher initiative. I'm rolling a blue die and a green die to see who does better. And with a blue of 4 and a green of 6, I would say the 4 is better because we're going lower is better on speed, or is it higher? It's higher is better. So 6 is the winner. Okay, we're just going to make it for easier. The troll is always going to go first. which kind of sucks because now I'm rolling my 3 combat dice for the troll against me. And with a 6, a 5, and a 1. That is unfortunately 2 hits. Oh, okay, well I'm down to 3 then. That's not really wonderful. I'm less than thrilled about that, but I do have 2 combat dice to attack with, and I only have to break a 3. So let us see if our hand weapon, our war hammer, and with a 5 and a 6, that is 2 straight hits. It has 5, which at this point, oh, it's in the same boat I am. It too is down to 3. Unfortunately, that means it gets to swing its whatever the heck it's swinging at me. And let's see if it hits me with that thing that it's swinging at me. Oh my God. Well, I rolled a 5, a 5, and a 6, which is 3 hits. Which means Bunsen Bernier is dead. Bunsen Bernier had his head staved in by the swinging fist of a troll. Said troll then, of course, tearing said dwarf body into small pieces and devouring all of the soft, warm flesh off the moderately tougher bones. Does the troll eat my poor dwarf's bones after devouring all the flesh off of them? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I do know, however, that Bunsen Bernier's son, Bunsen Bernier II, who was only 10 years old when Bunsen Bernier went off for adventure, has grown up and has vowed to head out and to avenge the loss of their father on all of the horrific, nightmarish things that you can find out here in this world. So what sort of adventure does Bunsen Bernier II find whilst trying to find, well, not find, but trying to avenge the loss of their father? Let us see what type of quest we have. And with a 3, it is a clear water spring. For many years, the best ale in the kingdoms of M has come from the Clearwater Brewery, a heavily fortified building built over a spring of pure water. But that spring has become polluted and foul, and investigations revealed that goblins are behind it. They have dug tunnels beneath the brewery and used their dark magic to poison it, and now you must stop it. You must fight a goblin sorcerer to end the quest. So Area 13, I'm going to have a goblin sorcerer to fight. Page 39 for the goblin sorcerer. Down here in the bestiary. A goblin sorcerer, the most intelligent. They look like normal goblins, even though they are distinguished by the crowns of feathers they wear. Sorcerers often lead warbands on attacks, for goblins revere those who can display magical prowess. They have spells, 1 magic die, and will cast a random spell instead of attacking every second turn. Okay, roll 1 to 2, cast arcane arrow, 3 to 4, protective shield, 5 to 6, battle strength. And all we have to do is we come up to this section, magic, and there's like arcane arrow. You summon 3 arrow-shaped bolts of eldritch power, which you send flying towards your enemy. Roll 3 dice. Each dice that rolls 4 or more inflicts 1 hit upon your enemy. The number listed beside the name of the spell is its casting number. And when we come back up here, where did we have it? I'm can't quite remember where it says to do things about magicry. So this is a learning experience for all of us. Luckily, I mean, the one thing that's good about PDF things is it is pretty quick to just click through stuff. Okay, here we are. Magic, you can rise, cast a spell, takes a turn. In order you roll your magic die. It has a number. If at least one number beats the casting number, the spell is cast successfully. Okay, and it will do that every second turn. It's not going to attack. It's going to use magic. Luckily, I don't have to fight it right now. So let us start with finding out what we find in area. Finding out what we find. That makes sense, doesn't it? In area 1. And in area 1, with a roll of 1, we have an encounter. So let us switch to encounters. And let us see what exactly we're coming across. And with a double 2, it's a it's a wyvern. You enter a large cavern and are hit by an overwhelming stench. You soon see what the cause of that stench is as a towering wyvern comes charging toward you. You have stumbled into its lair. I have a feeling that Bunsen Bernier II may be occupying like a wyvern's belly here very, very soon, because they have combat dice of 4, armor of 5, the speed of 2, 5 wounds. I'm gonna be lucky if this monster thing here doesn't just swallow Bunsen and just digest him that way. Oy vey. Well, it is faster than I am with a speed of 2. And with 4 dice, it still has to roll a 5 or better. I have to roll a 5 or better to hit it as well. We both have the same number of hit points, the same type of armor. So let us see. I rolled a 2, a 5, a 4, and a 2. That is 1 hit. So, oh, well, I forgot to change that. So instead of a 5, thank you, I am down to 4. But I do get to attack back in turn. I need to beat a 5, and I rolled 2 5s. Son of a gun. Well, the wyvern is down to 3. I don't know how I suddenly did well, but I certainly did. Unfortunately, it still rolls another 4 dice trying to hit me. And it has to roll a 5 or better, and with a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 4, the wyvern fails entirely. I roll my 2 dice in some vain attempt to roll a 5 or better. I rolled 5 and 1. That's 1 successful strike, and so it is down to 2. Huh. I might actually win this. I don't know how. That gives, unfortunately though, the wyvern a chance to attack. And having to beat a 5, it rolls a 5, a 1, a 1, and a 3. That's another successful hit. I am down to 3. Oh boy. Well, ducking and weaving, feint and slash and run away and live to fight another day. I swing my warhammer at this bloody wyvern. Literally bloody. I've been hurting it, so there's blood everywhere. And I roll a 4 and a 1 and fail miserably. So this wyvern still has a very large chance still of filling its belly with dwarf meat. So with its 4 dice, let us see what happens. It has to roll 5 or greater. And with a 4, a 2, a 3, and a 3, amazingly, the wyvern has still failed to manage to murder me. Thank goodness for that. I, on the other hand, do get to grip my warhammer tightly and swing this pike-like thing. If you've ever seen a warhammer, it sounds like, you know, oh, it's like a sledgehammer or something. Nah, it's more like a mining pick. When you get hit with the sharp end of that thing, it can go right through you. A warhammer is a deadly, deadly thing. So I swing my warhammer at the wyvern. And with a 5 or better, I fail miserably with 2 2s. That's special. So now the wyvern, of course, still eager upon filling its belly with dwarf meat, attacks in turn. It has to, well, with a 5 and a 6 and a 5, there's a large snap of jaws, a gulping noise, and Bunsen Bernier is suddenly just a struggling bulge in the belly of the beast. I imagine Bunsen doesn't struggle for too long. I mean, there's like no air inside of a stomach, so Bunsen gets digested. Luckily, Bunsen Bernier II has a son who, after discovering that his father and his grandfather were both made dead by horrific things out while adventuring, vows vengeance and heads out to get vengeance upon the world for what they have done to Bunsen Bernier and Bunsen Bernier II. Of course, Bunsen Bernier III has no real ideas of the dangers, and I don't know if Bunsen Bernier III would really want to be snapped up and swallowed by a wyvern, but we shall see. What quest does Bunsen Bernier III have? And with a 1, Bunsen actually wakes up. You can scarcely believe your luck. Returning from a mission in the dragon-found mountains, you let your guard down, thinking you were safe in the foothills. Yet you were ambushed by orcs who took you completely by surprise, capturing you and dragging you off to their dungeon lair. Now you have managed to escape your cell and must find your way out. But first you must find your gear. In this quest, you begin with no equipment at all. The first empty area you find, the first roll of 6 you make on the area table, contains your gear, and you may use it from then on. No final area. After 12 areas, you may finish the quest or continue until you find your gear with a quest monster of an orc. Now, you see the thing about fighting with, they don't have like a very good way to do this. About putting all things in one places and all, because when you fight without a where do they do it? Well, if it, here we are, fight without a weapon, your opponent's armor is increased by 1. Fight without armor, your armor is reduced to 3+. So I have 3+ for the moment because I have no armor. That's not a plus. And what was the other thing? And the armor stat is increased by 1. Oppo's armor +1. Well, that's kind of special. So now we're going to attempt to find out what we find in Area 1. Okay, to the I was almost right there, too. Okay. In Area 1, I roll a 1, which is an encounter. So we head to the encounters, and we see what my naked dwarf is going to be fighting. Let us roll. Hopefully it's not going to be bad, because that could mean Bunsen Bernier III's life is going to be short as well. And with a 6 and a 4, that's a 10. A giant spider. Entering a large natural cavern, you find the floor is littered with bones and rusted equipment. Suddenly a shape drops from the ceiling to the floor in front of you. It is a giant spider. 2 combat dice. Armor of 4. Speed of 3, so it goes first. 3 wounds, so it's got less than that. But we're on the same amount of things. So we're actually pretty much the same except for speed and wounds. Okay. Oh, page 37. What special and awful rule? Giant spiders found about anywhere. Some are venomous, some trap their enemies, some do both. When you encounter a giant spider, roll 1 die. Well, maybe it'll tell me what to do about venom on the other page, because first, roll 1 die, and with a 4, it is venomous. If a venomous giant spider rolls a 6 and scores a hit, that counts as 2 hits. Oh, goody! Giant spider rolls 2 dice, tries to break my 3. Giant spider rolls a 5 and a 6. So instead of 2 hits, because of the venom, that was 3. I'm down to 2 hit points. I do, on the other hand, roll my 2 combat dice, attempting to break their 4+ armor. Well, I rolled a 6 and a 2, so I actually hit them with 1, which means they have 2 hit points left. Well, it's going to attempt to murder and devour my flesh. And it has to break 3. And with a 4 and a 5, Bunsen Bernier the third, finds the 2 large venom-injecting fangs piercing his chest, crushing the ribs and injecting venom straight into his cardiac tissue, at which point he pretty much falls instantly dead to the ground, at which point I imagine the spider drags me up into its dangling webwork, devours his flesh, and then leaves his bones to just join the rest on the floor of the cave. Well, this family has had absolutely terrible luck, taking out 3 generations of male dwarves. Adventure is very, very dangerous, but it can be worth it if you aren't, like, eaten by a spider or digested alive by a wyvern or some other horrific thing out there in the world. This is, in fact, a good game. It is quite fun. I've enjoyed myself quite well. It's like, what is it, Dwarf Fortress, where the losing is fun, something along those lines. You don't have to succeed and win to enjoy yourself. And I have had 3 quick adventures slaughtering 3 generations of male dwarves. So I hope you've enjoyed, and if you like this, you can pick it up on Drive-Thru-RPG. That would be cool if you wanted to take a look. But until then, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, because we are going to play more solo RPGs in the future, and that's a good thing. So take care, and I'll see you.